In this video we are going to be looking over this Canon AE-1 Program 35mm film SLR camera equipped with a Canon FD 50mm f1.8 Prime Lens. And I thought what we would do to get started on this is to put in a battery and step down through the shutter speeds. And you will notice that this one does have the characteristic squeal. The shutter still works, but I will let you hear that. First we'll open the battery door. The battery door on this camera is in good condition. It's got good hinges, and I do not see any breaks or cracks anywhere. That is a common problem with this model. So we'll just stick the battery in. The battery is not included in the sale. It's just here for testing purposes. And I should also point out that the AE-1 Program had a place here where there was a slide-on and screw mount, little action grip that just thickened up this area a little bit. It was a change from the original AE-1 that did not have that. A high percentage of the AE-1 programs that I see are missing that part. It's purely cosmetic. It actually makes it a little harder to change the battery because you have to take that off first. But be aware that that little, what they call the action grip, is missing from this one. Okay, so we've got the battery in, and we're going to make sure it's on here, and it's on A. And I'm going to set this at a low aperture just so we can watch the blades close in the lens too as we go. So here we go at 1/1000th of a second. And you can hear that squeal sound. Here's 500th, 2/50th, 1/125th, 1/60th, 1/30th, 1/15th, 1/8th, 1/4, 1/2, 1 full second, 2 full seconds. Let me get this light in here so we can see down in there. And the bulb setting, where the lens stays closed down and the shutter stays open as long as I hold this down. As I look in on this lens now, I see what looks like little bits of oil on the blades. The blades seem very quick and snappy. Still, I'm going to activate the stop down preview here. We can see that they seem still very quick, but it does look like there's traces of oil in there, so be aware of that. Okay, while on the bulb setting, I'm also going to pop the back. And we'll just look at the back here while we've got it. Looks to be in good condition. If we pull up on the film rewind knob, the back swings open. And now, if we look through while it's on the bulb setting, it's a little tricky to do this, but I'm going to hold this open and point a little LED flashlight through. I'm going to open the lens back up and try to show what I saw was there is some internal haze in addition to some internal dust. It may not show up real well here on the video, but I'm just giving you a little bit of a glimpse of that, and I'm telling you that there is some of that, so be aware of that. Okay, let's take the lens off for a moment and just look at that. This is what they called the new FD mount, with a little button here and you just rotate the whole thing and it clicks in place, and this one does click in place and the button pops out like it's supposed to. Focus feels smooth, nice clicks on the aperture ring, and it does have the locking A setting, which is what you'll want to use with the program mode on this camera. So now I think we're supposed to have it not on that when we mount, but I'm not sure about that. So anyway, there it's mounted. We'll lock that on the program mode, and then if we set this on program, and let's pick a low ASA, we can just rotate this right here and set it on, let's just set it at 100. That's a common setting. Now the metering in this, it is responsive to light. I've not checked it for accuracy, but here we're gonna, with the bright light shining in, and now with not a bright light shining in, and with almost no light coming in, we can see it's much slower shutter speed than with this bright light right in the front. So we can see that on the program mode it's making some decisions. And I thought now we'll just look at the top. Everything looks good up here. A little bit of sticker residue right on the top, it looks like. The bottom looks good. Really not very much hunting and pecking around the tripod socket, so that's good. And the little drive port cover is in place. And let's open it up again in the back. I'm just going to set this on a 1/60th of a second so we can watch the film transport operate. And the shutter curtains move across. Shutter looks good. And film transport looks good. And if we look at light seals, this foam is a little bit sticky. A little bit of residue I feel along the edges, and quite a bit more residue down here. So I'd say the camera's due for light seals, and that shutter, and the metering is probably okay, but it's not tested for exact accuracy. And so that's why it's, and with the little bit of haze in the lens and the oil on the blades, that's why it's all sold as is, considered for parts are not working, though actually most of it works. And it would probably take pictures as it is, but I've not shot any film through it. It does have a Canon strap with a Canon pad, and the rubber is still pliable. And the lens cap that comes with it is not a Canon cap, but is actually a generic one, 52mm. It's got a piece of rubber on the center that's probably a holdover from one of those straps that probably used to be on it that's not there anymore. But it's a good cap and it's in place.